It's Friday night. You just survived a 40-hour work week. You got some takeout, you're on the couch, controller in hand. By any reasonable measure, you should feel fine. You did the thing. You earned this. But you don't feel fine, do you? There's this low hum of guilt sitting in the back of your skull. Some voice telling you that you're wasting your life because you're not building something, learning to code at midnight, or running a side hustle between rounds. You think that voice is just your own ambition? It's not yours. Today, I'm going to show you where it actually came from and how an entire industry figured out that a content person is worth nothing to them, but an anxious one is worth everything. To understand how this happened, there's a concept worth knowing: shifting the baseline. 30, 40 years ago, your idea of doing well was set by maybe 150 people, your actual neighborhood, your actual coworkers. The richest guy you personally knew was probably the dentist with the slightly bigger house and 2 vacations a year. That was the ceiling, and it was a ceiling you could actually reach. Now open your phone for 10 seconds. The algorithm doesn't show you your neighborhood anymore. It shows you the top 0.001% of the entire planet, every single day. 19-year-olds flexing fake Stripe screenshots, 20-year-olds who manifested a Dubai apartment, guys who swear they make 6 figures a month from their phone, when their actual job is selling you the screenshot. Here's the problem. Your brain doesn't file any of that under rare exception and algorithm handpicked for me. It files it under, this is just what normal looks like now. So your baseline quietly gets dragged from the dentist down the street to kid with a rented Lambo in his Instagram story. And suddenly, your actual, stable, perfectly fine life feels like you're falling behind. You've got a decent income, some savings, people who care about you, and your brain still panics because you're 24 and don't own a Porsche. Nothing about your life changed. The ruler they're measuring you with did. And it gets worse, because this didn't stay an accident. At some point, the self-improvement industry noticed what was happening and leaned into it. They gave it a name: NPC, non-playable character. Somebody just going through the motions of a life that isn't really theirs. Think about that for a second. Why is a normal 9-to-5 treated online like some kind of failure state? Why does clocking out at 5, walking the dog, and watching something dumb on the couch get mocked as living on easy mode? Because a person who's actually content with their life is useless to these people. A happy person doesn't click. If you're fine with your apartment and your boring job, you're not buying their $997 Escape the Matrix course. You're not paying $40 a month to sit in their Discord and watch them post screenshots. You're not sitting through a 2-hour podcast about how they optimized their morning routine with cold plunges and supplements. So before they could sell you the cure, they had to convince you that you were sick. Your perfectly normal life had to get rebranded as a problem, a prison, a trap, the Matrix. Because a problem is something you can sell a solution to. They didn't find your inadequacy. They built it, packaged it, and sold it back to you. And what's the alternative they're selling? Be your own boss, work from anywhere, never answer to anyone again. Sounds great. Here's the part that never makes it into the thumbnail. On a 9-to-5, you've got one boss. Annoying, sure, but one. The moment you go full-time creator or freelancer, you don't get 0 bosses. You get a few hundred. Every client is your boss. Every algorithm update is your boss. Every follower who might unfollow you if you take a weekend off is your boss. You traded one manager for an audience that never clocks out, and somehow convinced yourself that's freedom. You didn't leave the Matrix. You just built yourself a smaller, Wi-Fi enabled version of it, and now you're the one paying the electricity bill. Back in the 1800s, during the gold rush, the people who actually got rich weren't the ones standing in a river panning for gold all day. It was the guy selling shovels, tents, and overpriced jeans to everyone who showed up. The exact same thing is happening right now, except the gold is AI. Scroll for 5 minutes and you'll find someone selling a $297 course on how to build a faceless AI business or make 6 figures with ChatGPT while you sleep. Almost none of these people are making money the way they're telling you to. They're making money selling you the instructions. You're not their student. You're the business model.
The promise of hustle culture is simple. Wake up at 4 a.m., cut out sugar, take a cold shower, work 16 hours, stack 5 income streams, and you're guaranteed to end up rich. Cause and effect. Simple math. Except it's not. This is survivorship bias with a ring light. For every person who did all of that and ended up on a private jet talking into a microphone, there are tens of thousands who did the exact same thing. Same 4 a.m. alarm, same cold shower, same 16-hour days, and ended up exhausted, broke, and quietly falling apart in their apartment, alone. If grinding harder than everyone else automatically made you rich, nurses would be billionaires. So would construction workers. And so would the single mom working 2 jobs just to make rent. These are some of the hardest working people alive. And somehow, that's never the example the gurus use. Because the real story involves things they can't put in a course. Rich parents, a financial cushion to fail safely, the right people in their network, and a healthy dose of luck on top. So instead, they sell you a lottery ticket and call it a blueprint. And if it doesn't work for you, simple. You just didn't want it badly enough. This mindset has even leaked into the one place it had no business being, your free time. You're not really allowed to just have a hobby anymore. You like drawing? Someone asks when you're opening an Etsy shop. You're into gaming? Why aren't you streaming? You started running? Where's the Strava? Where's the YouTube series about your journey? Doing something purely because it feels good, with zero plan to monetize it, has somehow become suspicious. Like enjoying yourself for free is a missed opportunity. All of this has an actual physical price tag. When your brain thinks it's constantly behind, it treats that the same way it'd treat being chased by something dangerous. It floods your body with stress hormones all day, every day. Your sleep gets worse, your gut gets worse, you're tired all the time for no reason you can point to. People are quietly wrecking their health, not because of some real crisis, but because an app convinced them they're losing a race that was never real in the first place. So if the game is rigged, you don't win by playing harder. You win by not playing at all. Right now, in a world where everyone online is performing a life they don't actually have, for people they'll never meet, living a normal, quiet life might be the most rebellious thing you can do. Having a job that's just fine, keeping your weekends actually free, sleeping 8 hours, not needing anyone to watch you do it. That's not NPC behavior. That's just what a functioning life looks like. And half the people calling you an NPC would trade everything for it. So stop apologizing for having a normal life. Your worth isn't a number some app made up to keep you scrolling. Tonight, do one thing. Open your feed and unfollow a few accounts that only ever make you feel like you're behind. You won't miss them. You don't need to escape the matrix. You just need a Tuesday off. If this helped you see things a little clearer, subscribe to Blind Spot. I've got more of this coming.